Hello, everybody. How's it going?
Good morning.
Hi, Fem. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm in such a Friday mood today.
I know I'm in a really Friday mood. That music reminded me of like skipping through a field or something like that. We're all like going, yay!
I know, on a summer's day. If only if it was actually sunny today.
Yes, it is sunny here.
Oh, actually, it's not too bad here. It's not all right. It's just a bit cold. Also, you said it reminded you of that song. Hi ho, hi ho.
Yeah.
It's up to work we go.
When I first heard it, I could just imagine these gnomes kind of walking through a forest with their little, I don't know what they're called, the sticks with the sack at the end.
Yeah.
And they're going somewhere.
I feel another video coming on.
Get your broomstick and put a tea towel at the end.
Yeah, definitely, like Dick Whittington. Anyway, how is everybody today? Hi, Becky. So Becky is poorly today. Am I supposed to announce that? I don't know. But I'm standing in for Becky today because she's poorly. So we miss you and get well soon.
We've had a lot of Friday poorliness, but I promise we're not hungover or anything.
Yeah.
She's never. There's always one missing.
There's always one getting wasted on a Thursday. Hi, Nikki. Lovely to see you. Morning, Amanda. So great to be here. I think it's because Savvy Sense is now obviously a regular slot in the old diary. So it always does feel like Friday, doesn't it?
It does, yes. And we've had a really good week as well. Well, I've had a good week.
Oh, good. Tell us about your week.
Well, I got some new event inquiries this week. Whoop whoop.
Woo, that's amazing.
Yes. So we're working with clients.
For when? 2021?
21 and 22, yes. So that's exciting.
Oh, that is exciting.
And then some of associates in my team, so people I'm mentoring, also had new inquiries this week. So we've been actually getting some proper work done, which is amazing.
That's so good. Oh my God, that feels like it's light at the end of the tunnel a little bit, doesn't it?
Yes, maybe, hopefully, we'll see.
Well done. Well, I've been doing a LinkedIn course, which has been great fun. Lovely, lively group there. And it's the last day today, which is odd. Feels like it's gone really quickly. And then we've got another one tomorrow. Next week.
I'm not doing anything tomorrow.
I meant next week. A new challenge next week, which is really cool because the LinkedIn one I've done like 3 or 4 times now, but the one next week is brand new, so it's exciting.
And we're nearly fully booked. We only have 4 spaces left on that one.
Yes. So if anyone wants to come, let us know. But yeah, all good stuff happening then. And my friend just texted me who's coming around later today saying she's going to get some Prosecco. So it's even better, really.
I'm cooking dinner for friends tonight, and I'm going to make a pie that has a brie in the middle. And then you cook it, and when you cut into it, it oozes out.
That's why I'm
telling you all of that. Should we get to it?
Should we talk about some work? That does sound amazing, though. Yeah, sorry, everyone. Talking rubbish. This is what our team meetings are like for an hour and a half. Brie and wine. Look, Julia, did someone say Prosecco? Yes, we're talking about Prosecco at 9:34 a.m.
Every Friday at 3:30 I have a Zoom team meeting, and we always have a glass of something. So
do you?
I look forward to that.
I love it. Maybe we should start that tradition at our 10 a.m. team meetings.
No.
Right,
okay, anyway,
let's do some work.
Yes.
So today we're talking about effective agent relationships. Obviously, it's amazing because Fem is here and knows all about both sides of the coin, and also it's a hot topic at the moment because of what's happening with COVID, and we want to be able to support all sections of the industry. So do you want to tell us a little bit about your kind of experience to start with, Fem, and all of that?
Yeah. Yes. So I always used to work in hotels. I did that for, I don't know, over 10 years, I think, working for IHG, Accor, Principal Haley at the time, kind of working on the reactive side and doing managing the teams there to improve their conversion, and also highly involved in yield management So we set up new systems and did all the geeky things that I love.
That you love.
So I did that, and then I moved over to the dark side about 6 years ago now. So I joined Helms Briscoe 6 years ago as an associate, and we do venue finding for our clients, but also prospecting. So actually finding our clients, working with them, and then doing the venue finding and contract negotiations and things like that.
Did you work in a venue finding agency before Helms Briscoe, or straight from hotels into that?
Straight from from that. And actually, so I'll go into that later.
Amazing. So 6 years of Helms Briscoe, and Helms Briscoe is and I feel like I've only really realised this since working with you or getting to know you more, but it's very the way it's structured is all built on like strong relationships, isn't it, with your clients and knowing them inside out. And
I mean, we don't have any contracts with our clients that tie them into working with us or a minimum. We don't have much marketing or anything like that. It's all based on trust and relationship. So our relationships with our clients are very strong. We can't mess it up, because if you lose a client, that's your business. Yes. So it's not just a case of, I'll just send out to some venues. We have to really work for it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Let's just say hello to a few people. Hi, Martina. Lovely to see you. Rachel. Hi, Rachel. Nice to have you as well, Julian. Julian's like bang on the Prosecco by the looks of it. Me too. Cool. Great to have everybody here today. So obviously Helms Briscoe has a certain kind of business model, but there's quite a lot of different ways venue finding agencies work and kind of types of them. Can you take us through some of them? There's a lot,
Yeah, well, so when I used to work in hotels, kind of sometimes agents are kind of painted with the same brush. So if you had a meeting, whatever, it's comes from an agent. Oh, it's an agent or an agent.
It's so true.
That word gets thrown around quite a lot. And some of them have a bit of a reputation, and sometimes people, think certain things about agents. And when I moved to Helms Briscoe, I kind of forgot about all of that, and I'm really happy with the way that we're set up. And then you think about then since joining Selling Savvy, it's happened again where people say, I can't do that because agents do this, or I can't do that because agents are like this. And that kind of made me think about it, because if you as a venue treat all agents the same way, when actually there's so many different types of them. So for example, you can have an agency that just does venue finding. That's what they do. They do venue finding, contracting, and that's it. And then you have agencies that also get involved in payment, or they sign a contract on behalf of their client. And then you have ones that on top of that also do event management. So they do the whole thing, and they do all the show rounds, and they do everything, the teas and coffees and all of that. And then in that spectrum, you also then have a one-man band. So some agents just do it by themselves, and they do the whole kind of finding clients relationship thing. Then you have the huge one, you have the middle-sized one, and in those sizes, all of them do different things as well. So I think it's just important to understand the motivation behind a company and why they do it, and what is their purpose, and what's important to them. I think I'm going to use the word important quite a lot today. So you can't just say, oh, this is an agent, this is how they work. There are so many different kinds of them, and some, there's people who work with overrides, there's people who don't. So you have so many different versions of an agency. So just there's an agent. And Rachel Harwood says, really shocked to hear that hotels and venues still think like this. I would hope we have an excellent relationship with our hotel partners. Yes, and I mean, we do as well. We have a great relationship, but I have heard,
I think
we've done training with Selling Savvy, that some people have said, I can't do certain things because of agents, and I'm like, well, they're not all like that. If that makes sense.
Or like people, lots of people, and it's nothing against hotels. I think it's just changing their mindset and having a bit more education on it. But lots of people have asked questions about how do I work with agents when they're, it feels like the relationship is sometimes a little bit at loggerheads, whereas actually everybody's trying to get to the same result. Everybody wants the best for their clients, to build relationships and all of that. And also I think this is a whole nother topic and we're running a whole course on it in a few weeks, but trying to work out how or trying to understand hotels, to try and understand the vast amount of work that agents do and the strong relationships that they're building, that therefore means you don't need 5 more sales managers to build those relationships for you.
So I think that's just a bit about the different, and there's a reason for going into the different types of agents, that you need to understand when you're dealing with an agent, the scale of the work that they're doing on behalf of their clients before you go, oh, that's just an agent, or that's just this or that. There's so many different types out there.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's it is always a discussion in the old sales and revenue meetings, isn't it? On a Friday or whatever. Oh, is this come through an agent? But I think you're right. Nobody ever delves deep and is like, which one? How do they work? Like, what's their ideal out of this situation? Yeah.
And which ones work well for your venue? If you have loads of meeting rooms and they need filling with lots of kind of the same kind of business, then speak to an agent who has that kind of business, who do the whole kind of mandated meetings and things like that. Just go bish bash boosh and it's done. But if you have more intricate spaces or larger spaces, then you maybe need to speak to people who do more of the full service kind of with event management, or people who handle bigger business. But you just need to see what works.
Yeah. I think we talk a lot about qualifying business, but inquiries as an individual kind of sense, but we don't really talk that much about qualifying agents, and does their business work for your venue, and vice versa. Like, is there any point in us being on your books? Is this actually going to work as a two-way partnership? This is a juicy topic, like lots of comments on this. So Julian said there are definitely venues out there that do that. It's a partnership, you're right, love that. I think that's important to remember. Rachel, agents are here to bring business into your hotels. We're here to support your business. I'd hope it's teamwork. Now more than ever, agents need your support to survive. Exactly. That's true. We're going to be talking about that, Rachel, as well. I think it's lovely that there are lots of agents that have that view. Like, obviously you and Rachel and lots of people have that view of seeing it as a partnership. But I think it's just like maybe some different kind of business models or whatever that have maybe tarred you with the same brush, as it were, and then hotels and salespeople think, oh God, an agent, and it's not always.
But on the other side, and we had this conversation when we had Louisa on our speaker, Louisa Douglas. She came in as a speaker. She's also done hotel side and venue finding side and agent event management side, about how you speak to people on the phone and how you sell to them. But we're just people, and sometimes it feels like hotels are afraid to just ask us the actual questions that they need, to understand our business or to understand us. And so often, I think I've used this example before, but people are like, oh, can I come to your office and bring in some goodies for the team? And I'm just looking around my house going, there's no office. And the most basic thing to learn about Helms Briscoe is that everyone works from home. We don't have an office. That doesn't make us any less of a valuable agency. It just means that we like work-life balance. And it's so easy to find that out, and then you get that kind of response. So just find out the ones that you're working with, the people, the agents that you get inquiries from, how do they operate, and then build that relationship and work to their strength. It's not rocket science, really.
It's exactly what you do with your clients, isn't it? I guess with like direct bookings. I mean, to do it with it, we should be doing it with agents as well. So should we touch on a bit about why agents are so valuable to hotels, why they're so important, and the kind of huge job role that they do on behalf of hotels?
And I think Rachel's already kind of alluded to that. So if you think about it, if your hotel or a venue will have a sales team, and they will target certain businesses. So let's say you have, some sales team have it by different industries, some sales team have it by location, but whatever it is, they go out to bring business. Your own sales team goes out to bring business to the hotel. But they can't reach everyone. They can't reach international clients. They can't reach all the kind of smaller businesses who might do super large events. I mean, my clients, most of their offices and teams are really small, but they have events for 700, 400 people. But the sales teams don't have time to go after all of those people. So we're here to have those clients, and you can reach us because you also have salespeople who look after agents. You can build relationships with us, and we bring you business. And for that, we get 10% or whatever it is. Sometimes 8, sometimes that. So it's just about reaching, having a much further reach of your sales team. We are there to work on your behalf, and the better relationships you will build with your agent, the bigger your reach is into the world and into companies.
This has really opened my eyes, because I've done obviously hotel side and event management, but I haven't ever worked in agency side. And since we've been discussing this, writing a course for a couple of weeks' time, it has really opened my eyes, and I'd never thought of it like that. And like we were saying, if an agent manages a client that has a big spend of revenue for, let's say, 6 events a year, but they're global, one might be in your area. Now, there's no point you employing somebody to account manage them when they only run 1 event with you.
Yes.
But actually, for you, it's worth you spending the time, because you're getting this 6 events revenue. So I've never really thought of them as being an extension to your team.
Yeah, and at the same time, you can kind of flip that. We are also an extension, or agencies are an extension to
your clients,
to the clients team. And I've had clients who've said that. They said, I get sometimes copied into the most crazy internal emails for my client, because they just basically, I'm employed by them, which is quite funny. And they also say that. So you're kind of you're extending, and you're building kind of a bridge between the two. And that's why I think agents are important. And also, if you think about it, if you sometimes think about some of the direct clients that you have to deal with, and the fact that they, that's not, sometimes it is their job, so that's all they do, but sometimes they have to find the venue, and it's not really what they do. So they don't know all the venues, let's say in London very well, whereas agents do, if they should. And also, they might not know contracting, or they might not understand different things, or they might think that it's reasonable to have a £50 DDR in central London, and go, oh, I really want the venue, it's £50 DDR. And the agents then manage the expectations of the clients on the venue's behalf, and say, I don't think we're going to find £50 DDR in London. So you might have to consider either increasing your budget, or maybe looking outside of London. You can have all those conversations before the inquiry even hits. The
so
hotel.
they're qualifying everything before it gets to you.
So that's what I think agents are
it's so interesting. And what do we need or let's read some of the comments, because we've got lots of nice ones. So Amanda, some of my largest sales wins have come from small independent agencies. The relationship is far more personal and qualified. Yeah, that's interesting. That's good to know. Becky, definitely. Rachel, I think people have pulled together so much more recently in the whole events industry. Yes, they have. I love it. Nikki, this is so valid for us independents. Nikki's talking about independent venues as well.
Yep.
Especially as we can't do this alone. Lockdown helped me to meet concierge venue finders, and we're trying hard to collaborate to help us all thrive. Agencies are vital for us. Being honest, it's the directories that we have struggled with, as we need to speak to agencies directly to build relationships.
And the other thing that I was going to say, and now it's completely no, I do remember. So Amanda talks about small agencies and having strong relationships. But also the larger agencies have their purpose. They are there for a reason, because the client can't manage it themselves, and they have that set up and the payment structures and things like that. And what I think what's really important is that you value the reason why the end client chose to go with an agency. they have a reason for that. They don't want to do the work themselves. They don't have time for it. They went with this particular agency because they have a relationship with them, or they, like I said, they don't have time. They want to outsource it. Respect that decision of the end client, because I mean, I've seen it before where hotels just go, oh, why don't you book with us direct, which is quite possibly the worst thing you can ever do. And I have, it's happened to my clients before. My clients have pushed back on that and said, well, hell no, I'm going through Femke because, I chose to do that. So you need to respect that. And you can really damage the reputation of your venue by doing things like that. So it's, that ultimately the end client is going to come to your venue and they're going to have an event there. So respect their decisions.
Yeah, definitely. And it does all, obviously time, it saves them time, but also, like we were saying, it's kind of, they only have to liaise with you for everything, for all of their events wherever they are, whereas liaising with loads of hotels can be tricky, or loads of venues. So we've sort of talked about what's important to keep in mind. Shall we touch or discuss how we can support agencies during this horrible time? And I find this I feel really passionately about this, because agents are one of the sectors in our industry that have struggled the most, I think, because they don't have any, there's no like I don't know, if you're a hotel, you've got a restaurant that can run at the moment, or if you're a venue, you can kind of do takeaway food. Agents don't really have any kind of other income, and with events being postponed, like, it's just their money being pushed back.
I don't think I'm going to ever say this person has struggled more than anyone else.
No, but yeah,
there's some venues that will never open again, and there are some agencies that may be thriving because they've pivoted or they do other things. But I think how to support, I think, well, keeping that relationship open, keep communicating, and now is everyone has time, so build relationships between the hotels and venues and agencies now, when everything goes back to normal, or not back to normal, but when we're allowed to book again. My clients are so desperate to book face-to-face meetings, they're literally bursting. So when it can happen, I think it's going to be big. So if you have those relationships ready, then you can work together, and then when it does, when it does eventually come back, then you can book again, and you can thrive on the relationships that you've built. But yeah, it's really hard, because all the work you're doing is postponing, and then maybe postponing again, and
you're doing so much extra work and not getting
an agency only get commission, and if an event doesn't happen, you don't get the commission. So you've worked on it. Some events you work on maybe for 6 months, do all the searching all around the world, and then finally book it, and then it postpones, and then it postpones again, and then you're just waiting for income, which is really hard. So yes, I think that, and we spoke recently about cancellation, commission on cancellation. I think if that's at all possible, but again, that's up to the venues. I know some venues are doing that, but cash flow is an issue for everyone. But keeping that relationship open is also a way of maybe ensuring that that clients don't cancel, that they do postpone, because you keep an open relationship about everything. Gemma says, how are agencies currently communicating that business under 30 people? I mean, I can't talk for all agencies, but we are definitely shouting about it. We've got some things on LinkedIn, and I'm keeping my clients constantly up to date with the restrictions and what they can and can't do. So I think it's more a confidence issue about getting people to meet at the moment, rather than the actual rules, because like I said, my clients are absolutely desperate to meet face to face, but most of the events were a little bit larger than 30 people, so that's my issue. That's not the issue that everyone has. There's definitely industries that are booking for under 30 people at the moment.
Rachel's got a really good question here. One of the toughest challenges at the moment is not being able to get hold of conference officers or salespeople within hotels due to furlough or redundancies. we're here ready and clients are wanting to book.
Yes, yeah, and that's all of the relationships that we have closer, agencies have closer relationships with the hotels, so they know who's still there, they know how to get hold of someone, whereas direct clients at the moment would really struggle with that. And they may not understand, they don't, as agencies, people are constantly looking up the restrictions and the rules, they know everything, but direct people at the moment might not know that. So it's important because we can manage those expectations and explain the rules and things like that.
Yeah. Really interesting chat today, guys. Thank you very much. It's a very juicy topic that I think lots of people are interested in learning how to kind of build better relationships, build stronger partnerships, and also support, obviously, which we want to do with all industries. I'm
going to say to Rachel said reservations 2000 are out seeing client COVID secure venues so that they can promote it to their clients. That's really good. But I wanted to say that I've got Rachel's goodie bag next to me.
Oh yeah, because Rachel, you won one of our random acts of kindness.
I'm going to the post office in a minute to send it to her. I really want to show.
You can show the little bag because you've got really cute little bags. Coming your way later today, Rachel. Love it.
Funny.
So Nikki says confidence is definitely the issue, whether they're back in the office or not. One of our favourite events ever was just 3 weeks ago for an exec team of 10. So excited to be off Zoom. Yeah, definitely. Oh, Lynette, such a juicy subject. Gusto wouldn't comment because she was driving.
I wonder what she would have said.
So interesting to what you should have said. Let me share our screen and tell you about we can't finish without telling you about our next course because it is so juicy. Boost your agent, direct and leisure relationships. So this is obviously this was a little snippet of the first session. We're going through 3 sessions: lucrative agent relationships, maximizing direct relationships, that's direct corporate or association or anything bookings, and then nurturing leisure relationships. So that's in a few weeks. I'll put the link in the comments.
I'm trying to do it now.
I've just done it, don't worry. I'm on it. Well, I think it should come through anyway. Yeah, there it is. Yep. So if anybody's interested, let us know. We're doing it as 3 sessions, or you can just come to 1, 2 or 3, so there's split prices for all of them. Live workshops held on Zoom, handouts after every session with all information included, and then we are doing an accountability session a couple of weeks after, which is a one-on-one miniature mentoring for 15 minutes to check up on how you're getting on. So yes, has anyone got any other questions or anything you'd like dying to say? Oh, where's my thing? No, well that's good then.
Yay, we can have some Prosecco now. Julian, pop the cork.
Julian, yeah, pop the cork. I'm ready, I'm thirsty. After my cup of tea, straight into it. Thank you very much, Julian. Glad that you found it useful. And please do have a look at our course because it's going to be really juicy we kind of, as I say, split it up into market segments so we can really dive deep into it. Lovely. Thank you so much, everyone. See you soon.
Next week.
Next Friday. Yeah, next week, it's Becky and Amanda, and they're talking about proactivity. We've got a challenge, the A to Z of proactivity, which we've done about 6 months ago, and I'm running it again in November. And they're going to go through their favourite letters from the alphabet of proactivity. So that should be very interesting as well. Yay. Thanks, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
See you soon.